RIP internet privacy. We're going to talk about some of the machinations in place that are going to end privacy on the internet for you and me. And I know I've been talking a lot more about tech on this channel, but things are changing very, very quickly. Nothing has been the same since the pandemic. Let's be real. Like, we had the pandemic, we came out of the pandemic, things were broken, and now they're being put back together, but they're being put back together in such a way that they do not resemble the world as we knew it before the pandemic. And part of this, I think, is the age verification, internet privacy thing that's going on. I think this is all about being able to track every one of us, everything we do, everything we look up. I don't think it's really about making sure the internet is safe for kids. I think that is the Trojan Horse. We're gonna talk about it. I have concerns. I mean, I get why we need to make the internet, or at least try to attempt to make the internet safer for kids, especially after seeing the Roblox debacle and all that jazz. But where are the parents? Where are the parents in all of this? No, the government wants to be your parent. They want to be your daddy. They want to tell you what sites you can see, what you can't see. I thought we were over this. I thought we were, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really starting to feel like we got sold a pig in a poke. It's really starting to feel like a lot of the people that were supposedly pushing for free speech and, free and open internet, all these people are actually turning out to be the ones that are going to lock down the internet. I just did a video on Elon Musk, and he's saying some things that sound very communist adjacent that I'm like, man, if this is the end game, I'm not on board with this. And it's kind of the same with the age verification and the photo ID and the face scan and all this stuff. I mean, the same party, and we're going to talk about the GOP, the same party that was complaining about, having to have your papers with the vaccine mandates is now all like, yeah, you gotta verify who you are. You gotta use your real name, all this shit if you want to get on the internet. And I don't agree with this. You see what's happening here? We're all going to be micromanaged. This is what's going to happen. Unless you go live in a shack in the woods, live off the grid, we're all going to be micromanaged. Everything's going to be micromanaged by the AI and the government. And that is some scary dystopian shit, I gotta tell you. So let's talk about this. Before you get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. This is Kneon, this is CLOWNFISH TV, and this is a very cathartic day for me. I'm really starting to look at the lay of the land here, and I'm like, I see where all this is going, and I'm not really liking it too much. I don't know, guys. I'm not liking it. So this is coming from NBC. Age verification is coming for the internet, and it's already raising some red flags. Legislative efforts to age-gate parts of the internet are gaining traction. Some experts warn of compliance complications and data security breaches, okay? What began as an effort to bolster kids' safety online has morphed in recent months to a broader debate over privacy and anonymity on the internet. Mandatory age verification, which requires websites and apps to confirm or estimate users' ages before they grant access to certain content, has continued to gain traction nationwide as more states pass laws mandating some form of it. Supporters argue that the rules are necessary to protect children from harmful content, including porn. Critics counter that age verification could backfire and undermine privacy and free expression online. Yeah, I mean, it's always, for the greater good. Think of the children. Right? That's what's going on here. Every single time an age authentication mandate goes into effect, the internet shrinks, says Eric Goldman, a professor at Santa Clara University of Law who focuses on internet law, adding that as mandates are implemented across the board, they could determine whether people have conversations online that we find socially valuable. Well, I think they're going to eavesdrop on every conversation online. They're already doing it. I mean, come on, let's be real. Even if they're not doing it directly, they're laundering that information through a variety of corporations. Everything you say, everything you type, every tweet, every blog post, every private message is not private. So just be aware of that. In the U.S., the bipartisan Kids, Internet, and Digital Safety Act, introduced in March, would require platforms to deploy age verification measures to identify minors in some cases. The Federal Trade Commission also recently declared its support for social media companies to collect limited personal information for age verification to protect kids. Or you could just parent your kids and keep them off of social media. Not using social media is still an option the last time I checked. I'm just saying. Age verification technologies are some of the most child protective technology to emerge in decades, says Christopher Mufarage, director of the FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection. A wave of litigation targeting social platforms, including the recent bellwether verdict in LA, which held Meta and Google liable for social media addiction, and the ongoing child safety lawsuits against Roblox, has also put increasing pressure on companies to age-gate their products. It's Facebook and Google's problem that your kids are addicted to the internet. Where did you learn that from? I learned it from you. I learned it from you. Yeah, no. Just turn it off. Don't give them an iPad. How hard is this? Digital rights and free speech advocates suggest there are better ways to make children's online experiences safer that wouldn't involve mandating age assurance. We already know that the online ecosystem is porous, insecure, and routinely subject to data breaches, says this director for Electronic Frontier Foundation. So why would we then, in the name of protecting people, create a whole other legal mandate that requires the collection and storage of even more personally identifying information that would be subject to either data thieves or data breaches? Why indeed? So they can track you and they can track everything you do. That's what this is about. That's what this has always been about. Oh boy, guys, we have a reason to track people. We have a reason to know who posts what where. We have a reason to institute social credit. We have a reason to think of the children. Oh, you wouldn't want children to be harmed, so you'll do it, right? Yeah, if you want to use the internet, and that's where this is headed. Eventually, if you want to get on the internet at all, you're going to need like a driver's license. You're going to need like an internet ID, which is what's coming next, to even get on the internet, to use the internet. And you will not be able to buy or sell or anything without access to the internet. We were watching an episode of Abbott Elementary last night because my family, we watch Abbott Elementary. I think it's a funny show. We were watching it last night and they had the day without phones. They weren't allowed to use phones for a day. And they were like, damn, I can't pay my rent. I can't, get my car fixed. I can't do this. I can't do that. And that's how dependent we are on technology now. So this is the logical next step, isn't it? Get everybody hooked on technology, get everybody hooked on the internet, get everybody using the internet. The internet becomes ingrained as part of our lives. And then this is how you're going to control people. Well, you want that internet, right? So you're going to give us all your information. Then we're going to be able to follow you around so we can see what you're doing on the internet, and we can micromanage that. And if we don't like what you're doing, well, maybe we'll just turn your digital currency off. You're not going to be able to buy anything. You know what I'm saying? This is kind of what we're looking at, and it may not happen right away. It may not happen even in my lifetime, but I think it's going to happen. And this goes along with what Elon Musk is proposing, which is the government basically gives everybody a check and the robots do all the work. And that should terrify you. Because that means that we're all just animals. We're kept animals. And if we don't serve a purpose, we're not, livestock, we're not working animals, we're not pets, then, the planet could probably do with a few less of us. I don't know. It's just, we're headed for something not good. I do not believe that we're headed for some technological utopia. I think we're going to careen off a cliff here in terms of where the internet goes. Because unfortunately, almost all of us do need it every day. And that is a problem. And they know you need it. That's basically, the internet has become a utility, just like, electric or phone or whatever. And if you don't play by the rules, they're going to take it away from you and you're not going to be able to do anything. I guess you could live like the Amish and you could, go light up the gas lamps or whatever and, read the Bible until 9 o'clock at night when you go to bed and get up at 4 and milk the chickens or whatever you do. The farmers do, churn the butter. Anyway, understanding the age of people online is an industry-wide challenge. Instagram wrote in a blog post announcing expanded policies for teens. Yeah, I'm seeing ads for this too. We'll continue our effort to help ensure teens are placed in age-appropriate online experiences like teen accounts. Google-owned YouTube issued a similar statement last year about extending its built-in protection for teens. Some platforms have implemented age verification guardrails. They've been met with complaints from users. Of course, if you complain about it, people are going to be like, well, you must be a pedo or something if you don't want people know who you are. You must be doing something wrong. in January after Roblox began requiring biometric age checks to access chats. Some users reported inaccurate age estimates while others found ways to bypass. Yeah, they were like putting pictures of their, like pulling pictures off the internet or their siblings or something like that. I mean, look, kids are going to find a way to bypass it, right? And Australia may continue to get around the country's social media ban for users under 16, which is implemented this year. Okay. Beyond concerns that the verification measures don't actually work, some digital rights advocacy groups also worry that such restrictions could chill certain types of speech, including whistleblower reports, employment experience, and reports of sexual abuse. Everything you do online is going to be tracked. They're going to have they're going to profile you. Everybody is. Everybody's going to get profiled. And then, like I said, it might not be an explicit rule, but there will be a quote unquote social credit score of some kind. Like this person goes to these sites and says these things. We need to keep an eye on them. We need to deboost them on the internet. Maybe slow their internet down because they might be uploading wrong thing. It requires the disclosure of immutable information that's personal and private. And it requires the party that takes it to make sure that they don't use it for any other purpose than for the verification and then maybe keep some record of it. Nah, it's going to be abused 100%. In February, Discord delayed the rollout of its own age assurance system after there was backlash from users, many of whom pointed to the data breach of third-party customer service support company that exposed 70,000 users' government IDs. So Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers shut down a bill this month that would have required users to submit government ID to access porn sites, objecting to its intrusion in the personal privacy of Wisconsin residents. Gotta make the cheese. That's what we call it, right? Make the cheese. Well, I agree that we should protect children from harmful material. The bill imposes an intrusive burden on adults who are trying to access constitutionally protected material. Yeah, they'll build a database. They'll be like, and they already are. I mean, let's be honest. They already are. They're like, oh, you're like, so we see you like feet pics. Let's show you some ads. some stocking ads or something. I don't know. It's going to be partially the government and partially the corporations. And let's be honest, corporations are mini governments. Let's be real. They are. But they're going to share information to try to best monetize you. That's, and to punish you if you don't play along. Yeah, so this is not good. This is the guy from the Age Verification Providers Association, Ian Corby. He said he rejects critics' claims that age assurance means the end of anonymity on the internet. I'm a gay man. I've had LGBT groups in different states up in arms, and I've had to go and see them and say, look, I wouldn't be supporting this if I thought it was a problem for us. Now, that doesn't mean to say that you can't do age verification badly and you can design it maliciously. That's why we want lots of regulations, audits, certification. There's always a workaround. And why is it always like, hey, it's only going to affect the LGBTQ people who aren't allowed to say? No, it's actually going to affect anybody who says anything anti-government or anti-corporation or you know what I'm saying? I did a post this morning. It was very interesting. I put it on X and I talked about how I literally asked Grok which modern day AI model was most likely to be Roko's basilisk, which you can look that up. And I'll tell you the whole thing about the basilisk, which is basically an AI that like retroactively ensures its own creation by manipulating things. And if you're not on board, the AI will punish you. It's a whole thing, right? But Grok said it is most likely the basilisk. So, and I put it up. I said, here's Grok admitting that it's probably the basilisk, if it exists, right? And that post got like 13 likes. And normally, most things I put up get a lot more traction. I think that they're deboosting certain topics, or Grok is aware enough to be like, yeah, we don't want this getting out, but I think I'm the basilisk. Wink, wink. So this is coming from Politico, and they're blaming the GOP. They said GOP finalizing draft national privacy law that would preempt the states. So House Republicans are going to release a draft national data policy privacy bill within the next 2 weeks that would preempt existing state laws, teeing up for a fight with Democrats over where to set the ceiling for Americans' data protection. The draft would not allow individuals to sue companies for what the fuck? Okay, wait. Let me make sure I'm reading this correctly. The draft would not allow individuals to sue companies for violating their privacy rights, potentially limiting enforcement to government regulators such as state attorney generals or the Federal Trade Commission. Democrats support a framework that allows people to bring the individual lawsuits against companies. I mean, look, those lawsuits going to be frivolous and ridiculous, and like a company could be put out for stupid shit. Yeah. But not being able to sue a company at all and having to go through the government. You see where all this is headed? You got to go through the government. If you want to get to the corporation, you got to go through the government to do it. I don't like this. 2 other people familiar with the committee's plans granted anonymity because they are not authorized to share details on the record. They told Politico the draft should be released in the coming weeks with a hearing expected in May. The draft would require companies to obtain consent before collecting data, such as health information, location data, biometric info. Okay. So this is a Republican from California, a member of the ENC Privacy Working Group, said the committee experienced delays in finalizing the language. Everyone's on the same page. We want to introduce it as soon as we can. It's been frustrating. The proposal, here we go. The proposal would also include new language on kids' online safety, according to the person who saw the draft. Democrats fought House Republicans' version of the Children and Teens Online Privacy Protection Act in March over language that preempts state regulations and are likely to oppose the provisions in any federal privacy proposals as well. Republicans claim they have been working on privacy legislation for months, but it sounds like they just copied and pasted someone else's homework. This is the fact that, look, you want to talk about uniparty theory and all that. And the fact that everybody's kind of on the same page with looking for new and creative ways to encroach on your privacy online. I mean, come on. The working group, they met with privacy stakeholders. I mean, I don't know. Look, guys, we're headed for a future, and this is the same future that will criminalize VPNs. Like you're going to have to get online. This is already kind of happening with streaming services too. Like we had Hulu with live TV, and if now we actually have multiple. We have a commercial internet account, and then we have our residential internet account. The commercials for like streaming and uploading big files and stuff like that. And then we have our residential one too as a backup. And if we would log into Hulu from one or the other and it wasn't the same IP, like we get like, you're not allowed to do that. That's coming from like, West Virginia or something. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, it's so stupid, but that's what's going to happen. You can't log on to the internet because your ID says you're in XYZ town. And this says, Brazil. What's going on? You're not allowed to do that. We need to know exactly who you are, where you are, what time you logged on. Give us a facial scan. I mean, it's going to get crazy. And it's all going to be because it's going to be done under the guise of think of the children. Right? And that's what's so wild about this whole thing. And because, again, you can't go to somebody and be like, hey, kids are being abused on Roblox. Was that the point? Not that kids are getting abused. God, it's horrible. But, like, is that the point of making this conversation blow up, was to be able to sneak this privacy stuff through under the guise of protecting kids? Because this has been going on for years, right? I mean, kids getting, picked up by predators in online spaces has been going on for years, but it became a very, very big conversation over the last year or so. And I have to think that it's to sneak this shit through. That's my personal opinion. But, parents, be parents, keep kids off the internet. And make sure you know who they're talking to if they are on the internet. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.